Afghan Scholar just made this Western reporter speechless with his response. Wait, what happened? Let's have a look.
I think that it feels to me that women are being hidden away, and that's the impression that you get. But I take your point.
Are the nuns hidden away?
Increasingly they're not. Nuns have moved on, and they don't. A lot of them now don't wear habits, and they progress too. That's, I guess that's
so
the point.
throwing away the veil, that means it's progress.
Well, no, I mean, maybe.
I would say it's the opposite.
Maybe it is.
Again, if by throwing away the veil you mean it's progress, then we're not progressing ever.
Yeah.
If by progress you mean scientific, social, economic development, we have progressed. We're actually the pioneers in those fields.
I think, again, I don't want to labour this point, but I think
he has a good point, and let me explain this to you guys. So, self-value is a value, right? It is something that is very, very good also for a family, right? Like, if a man has self-value, and I'm using now a man as an example, if a man has self-value, he will not sleep around and commit zina, yeah? He will self-value him and he will wait for a wife, right? Or the women, right? She will keep her chastity until she marries. So because she self-values herself, she doesn't want to be chewed on and spit out, right? And same with the man. The man doesn't want to get chewed on and spit out, right? Because it's disgusting, it's dirty. You do stuff to people you never see, and like, it's just following desire. So yeah, if you give away value, that is not progress, it's the opposite. The scholar is correct about that, right? Because if you love yourself, you see yourself as valuable and important, and you're not easy or cheap for others, right? If you make yourself cheap and available for everyone, and you're like literally treating yourself like a piece of flesh without any value, like, of course, like, this is not progress, it's the opposite. So yeah, good point by this scholar.
Then we're not progressing ever. If by progress you mean scientific, social, economic development, we have progressed. We're actually the pioneers in those fields.
I think, again, I don't want to labour this point, but I think throwing away the veil, it's not about progression, it's about choice. It's about having the choice to do something.
You don't have that in the West,
seem
though.
To be denied people here.
Does the Western society give people the choice to walk around naked? Without any clothes?
They give people personal choice to dress how they wish.
No, in public.
Well, they give them the choice. They give them personal choice.
Do they give women and men the choice to walk around in public absolutely naked?
Yeah, you wouldn't walk around absolutely naked. That would be indecent.
Do they have the choice to do it legally, without being arrested?
In their own home, in public?
No, in public.
In public, no, they wouldn't. That would be indecent. But they do have the choice to wear what they want.
And that is what we're saying. In the private homes, they can wear whatever they want. But in public, they have to have modesty.
Exactly. Yo. She picked the right person to like interview. I love this scholar for the sake of Allah. It is great when he's responding here, yeah? Because that is actually so true. And actually, I want to say something. And this is like happening in France and in some other countries. So she says they give people personal choice to dress how they wish, right? But why are some countries forbidding a woman to wear more? Like, for example, the hijab in school, or some countries don't allow the niqab in public. Why? I mean, if you have freedom of choice, like she says, to wear whatever you want to wear, then how comes you're allowed to wear little clothing and you have there the free choice? But if you voluntarily, and nobody's forcing you as a woman, to wear more clothes or to wear the niqab in public or to go to school with hijab, I mean, with hijab, you still see the face, right? So you can say, oh, this person's like doing something or sleeping in lesson or whatever. I mean, if you can show your face, a teacher can see the student is not sleeping. You see the eyes, right? I mean, come on, right? Like, what kind of excuse do you have in France, for example, to not allow the hijab in school because you can clearly see the student is awake or not? If some say, oh, the niqab, maybe you don't see the eyes and the person could be sleeping in class. Okay, you have this point, but you don't have the point to say you can't wear a headscarf or a bigger skirt that doesn't reveal your body shape. Like, what does this have to do with interrupting the lesson or not checking if a student is asleep? Like, whatever points they bring in the West that is against wearing the niqab or hijab, you can easily dismantle them and disprove their points and see how ignorant and stupid their points are. Like, it's like that. Like, this scholar, he should actually speak with the president of France, for example. It will make him look like his IQ just dropped down to almost zero.
But they do have the choice to wear what they want.
And that is what we're saying. In the private homes, they can wear whatever they want. But in public, they have to have modesty.
With a burqa.
With a veil.
This Western reporter tried to trick the Taliban
He's too smart for her.
make them accept that they are oppressor of women and they deny the women rights. But mashallah, this brother,
Allahumma barik.
this scholar from Taliban, he's very bright and he has
mashallah.
given the answer in an amazing way. He has asked her the question that can the women walk around naked in the Western countries? Does the law allow it? Then she couldn't answer it. He was stammering. He was trying to give the answer in a different way. No, they don't. So if you have your rule there, Taliban has their rule in Afghanistan. It's fine for them.
Yeah.
So every country has different culture. So this is the culture of the Taliban. Let them stay according to that.
It's more
Why
than
are you
culture,
disturbing
it's
them?
facts.
If they want to apply Sharia law, just wait and see how it works there. Don't just disturb them.
Yeah.
It's their human right. If
Freedom
you have
of
all the
religion.
rights there in Western countries, the Talibans, they have their own rights in their own country.
Exactly.
They are not disturbing in your country. Why you are going and trying to disturb them in their own country?
It's the same with
Give them the
colonization.
time and see. Let them stay in peace. They are trying to apply the law that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has ordained. They just want to follow the Quran and Sunnah. As long as they want to do it, let them do it.
Yeah. No, but like seriously, and this is a good point that this brother said at the end of this video, because every country has their own law, right? Like, imagine one country goes to another, and this is what happened during colonization also in Africa, right? Like, where Western countries went there and they implemented their own ideology there, their own laws, and they forced people to follow them, and they would get big punishments. Sometimes they would be even killed and stuff, right? Because they had to follow what another country dictate. They didn't even have the freedom of choice what sort of laws they want, how they want to live. And I kind of find this especially also like quite arrogant if one country thinks they are superior to any other country and they can dictate what sort of laws and rules other countries are having. Like, where's the freedom? They praise freedom and liberalism. You can do whatever you want unless it harms someone, because this is the sentence that you find in liberalism. This is the rule of them in liberalism, right? You can do whatever you want until you harm someone with it, right? So my question now to all those people that follow liberalism, why do you care or do you mind that a woman wears the hijab or the niqab? Aren't even some feminists happy with that? Because that means the husband has one less women to look at with desire and like, oh, she's hot, I wish I could do something with her, a'udhu billah. Like, are you not happy because your husband has one woman less to look in a sexual manner at? I mean, there are like benefits even, and just let Taliban do what they want there. You will see how it works out, because I've actually seen some interviews and they were like, also people saying, oh, you can study in there and this and that, you can't work there. And then there were women in Afghanistan that are working and they said, what are you talking about? I'm just working fine. I'm doing a 9-to-5 job there. What is your problem? How am I not working? Or hey, I'm going now to this one university that opened not long ago. What are you saying? Well, where are there no schools for women? There are schools actually now. So yeah, it's actually funny when you hear like one side and then you hear the other and you're like, why are they lying? Like, why are they lying? Why is it actually the opposite? And what this scholar said there is like, this is very smart as well, right? Like, with the value. Like, what about self-respect? What about self-value? If you go back to like say here in Germany, for example, if you look at 1920, did you guys know that in 1920, for example, here in Germany, or during the time of like my grandparents, like women, they used to wear long skirts quite regular. They would not show their bellies in public or cleavage so everyone can see their private parts almost, or half of them, right? A lot has changed when it comes to modesty in the West. Like, women dress differently in 1920 than they do now here in Germany. And you can't say that the women were oppressed back in the day. Like, sure, there was some injustice when it comes to salary, and I'm actually glad that now the salary is more even, because I personally think that if a man and a woman works and they do the same sort of activity, they should earn the same, of course. But I don't believe in role changing, right? Where a woman gets changed into the role of a man and a man takes the role of a woman and so on, because that also goes against nature, right? Like, imagine this, okay? Like, just from a logical perspective. Like, because this is something that's also bugging me a bit about feminism, right? So, let's say we talk about the profession mining, right? Where you have like a pickaxe and you're mining, or you're using machines in a mine, maybe a salt mine or something, and you have to carry sometimes heavy things, right? So let's say there's a mining job, right? And now we have a family. Now we have the traditional family where the woman is at home, they have 2 kids, and the husband is a coal mine worker, let's say, right? And he goes coal mining, he goes to the mine, he works, he's the breadwinner for the family, he carries heavy things, right? The coal, and he pushes the carts, does this and that, right? And he's working really, really hard for his family, and he comes home. And now feminism comes to another household, and you know what's happening now? The woman goes coal mining, and the man that has like the husband that is very tall, 190 meters, has the muscles, the abs, the six-pack, all that, very strong and tall. The wife is only 1 meter 60, right? And now she goes coal mining, working really hard, getting scratches, bruises, scars and all that. And now the man is with 2 small kids that are crying and that want the milk, but naturally his body part doesn't produce the milk for the small kid that is just 6 months old, right? But now the woman is working hard in the coal mine, and she's 160, she doesn't have the muscle, and the strong, tough man is at home taking care of the kids. Is this naturally logic? That doesn't mean there's injustice. You have to value and respect women. And what is actually interesting, what I see a lot the West doing, they're using roles and different roles, and they're saying different roles is injustice. But how is that injustice if there are certain limitations? Then if this is injustice, then I'm encouraging all the West to do boxing and wrestling matches where women are fighting men. Because they want equality, right? Then let's do it like that. Let's have a woman do professional boxing against a man. Or let's do some running, like marathon, where a woman has to run against a man and stuff like that. And let's see if it's biologically possible for both to be equal. Or let's give a 5-6 months old child to a man and let him have the breastfeeding and see if this works. There are certain natural things that make us different, but you know what's like beautiful, and this is what Islam teaches, that in front of Allah, when you're doing a good deed, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman, it doesn't matter when it comes to the stages of paradise, like when it comes to reward, both are equal, right? So there is equality when it comes to how valuable an individual is, whether it's a female or male one, and you can get the same reward in Jannah, and the deed is rewarded also the same, right? Like if you feed an orphan as a woman or as a man, you both get the reward, right? And there's no difference. Like that is the thing, right? Like there's a lot of misunderstanding also when it comes to Islam, where some people think that men and women are not equal. There's equality when it comes to reward, just we don't believe that the role should be changed, right? We don't believe there should be some gender change, right? Where suddenly the man becomes the woman becomes the man. And you know, it's like interesting, I've seen interviews by non-Muslims, and most of the women, for example, said there was like this question: if you live with your husband and a burglar comes in or a thief into your house, and this was maybe armed with a knife or gun, should the husband or should the wife go down to defend their property? And you know what the women said in this interview? They said the man should go down and defend home. So now think about it. I thought equality. Why is the woman not fighting for the win? Why is the wife expecting the husband to defend her? I mean, equality, right? Like, what's going on here? There's no equality. Why is the men to go first? Why must the men risk the life for the women? Why not the other way around, right? So no equality. And another question was asked, should the men pay for the restaurant when they go out for dinner, or should the women do on a date? You know what most women said? They would expect the men to pay. Only a small portion said they should do 50-50. But almost nobody said the women should pay for the full thing. So they either said 50-50 or the men should pay, with a larger percentage saying the men should pay. So if both have the right to have the same jobs, same earnings in the marriage, then how comes the man still must spend on the women when she has her own income? And the income is the same or maybe even higher than the guy. Why the guy still should pay? And some women even admitted that even if they earn more than their husband, the husband should still spend money on them. So you see, this is the fitra, the natural habits and inclinations of a human being. And the woman has this, where the woman seeks a protective, caring, providing husband. This is in the nature of a woman, right? And now if you're with feminism changing that, you're causing women to not be happy with their partner anymore, because they do what feminism teaches them, and then the husband becomes uninteresting and cheating happens, the divorce rate goes up and this and that. So I don't believe that the Western ideology is key to success. I'm the positive and 100% convinced opinion that the Quran and the teachings of Islam are the cure and the saving for humanity. But yeah, let me know in the comment section what you think about these points, what this Afghan scholar said, and about my points. And if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. If you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. And I will see you guys next time, inshallah.